have the right there. See the seam, the front and the back is joining right there. Okay, so I'm going to start this one right now. I'm doing the armhole of the jacket. Forget about the hymo. Now I'm doing it to the seam. The seam allowance width. Okay, I'm going to put a pin here.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm starting at underarm, all right? Now, with my two fingers, I'm holding the lining, but I'm not pulling the jacket. I'm just pulling the lining. And I'm laying the jacket on top of the reinforcement. Again, I'm holding the lining, and I'm laying the jacket on top. See? I'm not pulling the jacket, I'm just pulling the lining. Now, when I get to the two back notches, or the back seam, I keep it the same. Now watch what I'm going to do. From the back seam, which is this one right here, I go up to the shoulder. Again, I'm pulling the lining, not the jacket. And I'm going to ease the jacket onto the back reinforcement right here. Just from the seam to the shoulder, okay? It's not a lot. If you do too much, it's going to look like shirring, okay?
So maybe like half inches?
No.
Quarter inches?
Quarter.
The point of ease is to make it round, right?
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to get this part right here to go into the body. So I'm pulling the tape, but I'm easing the jacket onto the tape. It's not going to be more than a quarter right here though, okay? So once I do that, see, it's less. And look, the minute I stretch it, it's going to disappear. So I put a pin in the center and a pin here. And a pin right there. Now, from the shoulder to the front, again, you're putting the tape, the reinforcement, onto your jacket. I'm pulling the tape, but I'm not pulling the jacket, and I'm lining it up with the reinforcement, like this. I'm not easing or anything like that, okay? Move the hymo out the way. Now, there's a front notch here somewhere, Sabrina. You're going to have to find it. Now, what I did was that when you get to your front notch, you make sure that the tape is ½ inch below the front notch, and you cut the tape. I'll show you on the other side. I'm missing my notch here.
On both sides?
No, just this one. I see it. Give me something to mark with. I got it.
The one with the pockets.
Okay, now,
Right there.
I see my mark. I keep the tape here.
Do you want me to stash it?
Later. You have to mark it though, okay? And at the front notch, you cut the tape ½ inch below. Then the next thing you do is that you're going to diagonal stitch the tape. Like I just did, I'll show you this side. See this? It's diagonal stitch onto the armhole, okay? You don't touch the hymo, you don't touch the lining, you don't touch anything, just the armhole of the jacket, all right? So again, it starts at underarm right here, where your seam is at. It goes around, and it stops ½ inch below your front notch, okay? Then you're ready to send your sleeve in, okay? So, which one was it? This one, yeah. Just mark that there.
I did already stash it.
Okay. No, yeah. Oh. And the front one you already have. Okay. Now, I'm going to set in the sleeve. I'm going to take, I did the right one.
No, I
No.
was just,
This is it?
I was
Okay.
just.
There is still one more stitch you're going to do, and that's at the sleeve cap. You make sure your sleeve is nice and flat like this, and you're going to do a diagonal stitch right in the center. Now, you can't pull the lining out because it's already tacked around the bicep, okay? And it's just at the center. You're not going all the way from sewing line to sewing line because you have to work around the armhole. So again, I back tack. Now, when you start pinning in your sleeve, you start at the underarm, okay? Always. I see my notch here. I see my notch here, even though the notch is not marked with the thread tracing, it's okay. So I'm going to match both notches. I see my two back notches here.
Don't I base it first before I put it under the machine?
No, we're going to pin and sew.
Okay.
Wait a minute. This is my right sleeve. And this is my right sleeve. Okay.
Why are we opposed to basting?
Hmm?
Why are we opposed to basting before sewing?
Only because we want to go faster.
I'm a very fast baster. Just scares me.
Okay, let's see what we can do, okay?
Alright.
Where is my... Here it is. When you sew your sleeve on the sleeve side, not the armhole side of the jacket, okay? Now, there's two notches here. Here goes one, and here goes the other one, okay? The underarm is falling into place very easily. Now I go to the other side. I go to the front notch. I go to my front notch here. I think this is it. Okay, it's a little harder to find, Sabrina, but I think I found it. Okay, now, when you don't have your notches marked with the white thread, it's a little harder to find, okay? So make sure you have them marked. It's easier. Now, from the front notch to the underarm, it's going to fall in very nicely. Okay, now, it's time to do the shoulder. Okay, I go in this way. Again, I have to go into the sleeve side. I have my shoulder notch here, and naturally the shoulder seam is the center.
So that's also a half inch, right?
Half inch all around. Oh, everything is half inch.
Because I think my second basting on that is on the, it's with white thread and it's on the half inch.
Mm-hmm.
Use that as a pattern.
When you do the pinning along the armhole, not this way, but horizontal, in the direction that you're sewing, you'll be able to look at the sleeve on the form, okay? And when you sew, you have to sew exactly half inch. You can't be going in and out. Now I'm going to the other side of the sleeve. So far, I don't think I've had a problem with the sleeve at all. Now I'm having a problem. There's too much ease in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I have no idea, but I gotta find out why. I got the shoulder seam there.
Maybe that one notch you notched was not.
Well, you're supposed to have 2 notches in the back. I may have gone 1 notch higher. I did hit it. I went 1 notch higher. I had it this way instead of this way. So it's very important that you have your notches, you know. Okay, now it's falling in.
Yay! Everybody cheer.
Well, you know, you could very easily make a mistake. There's a lot of people that make mistakes with the setting of the sleeve. They mismatch a notch. And the funny thing is that they do it on one sleeve and not the other. So you have one sleeve going like this and the other one going like that. It's happened. Now let's see what I did down here at the underarm. See, now this has to be worked in.
Isn't this the hardest part?
Yeah. Setting a sleeve is not the easiest part. Now we still have to set in the shoulder pad. Okay? Now remember, I said something's happening
Yeah,
here.
I think I know.
Okay?
I basted it too tight.
But notice how it's easy to get rid of the fullness when you do it that way, rather than try to take your sleeve shirt and then stick it in there. No, get rid of the fullness first. Okay, no matter how much you have, get rid of it first. And then it's easier to open the sleeve into the armhole than it is to try to squeeze the sleeve into the armhole. Okay? All right, now. I am taking shortcuts here. Let's see. Huh?
Here comes the scary part.
Where do we have to put the shoulder pad in now? In order to put the shoulder pad in, oh, this one has to be basted first. Oh, okay. Base this armhole first.